The ability to deal with the reality of life is the classic requirement for addiction recovery. It is the number one action, number one item that needs to happen. You have to be able to deal with the reality of life outside of your addiction, outside of drugs, alcohol, pornography, sex, work, whatever your addiction is, food, whatever your addiction is. Outside of that, you have to be able to handle the reality of life. An addict has come to the point in his life, in his mind, in his soul, in his heart, where he can no longer do that. He can't handle the reality of life. He wants to avoid life. He wants to be in control of life all the time himself. They don't like it if the sun doesn't come out when they want to, if the boss doesn't treat them right, if they don't get what they want from their family member, if they can't have what they want when they want. Remember, the addict's motto is, I want what I want, and I want it now. Okay, so we can't have that. That's not always reality. Most of us come to accept that in a normal way. The addict doesn't accept that. The addict won't accept reality, so he creates his own reality where he gets what he wants all the time. And he uses the object of his addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, pornography, sex, food, gambling, whatever it may be. He uses that and the acting out to get to that stage, the point where he decides to use and get into that addiction again, and his mind begins to think about it. It's not just the action, it's not just the doing of the drug that's part of the addiction. The hideousness, the insidiousness, and the progression of this disease causes addicts to, quote, act out. What does that mean? It means they start to think about using. They start to think about, where am I going to get the drug? When am I going to use? What's it going to feel like on Friday night? And already their mind, their addiction has run rampant. This is called acting out. They're thinking about it, and it's becoming the obsession of their life, even as they're trying to function in their daily, day-to-day activity. I can tell you, I remember personally, I'd look at the sports betting lines. I'd look at them a night, a week in advance. I'd study the racetrack program. I'd look at it in advance. I'd start getting excited then about the event that was going to happen later. But my addiction had already started to kick in. And that is what happens to all addicts.